Welcome back to Just Talking. We have a great special guest here today who's been on the program before, but now is under a different title, and that is Miss Wisconsin, Willow Newell. Willow, thank you so much for talking today.
Thank you. I'm having deja vu right here, right now.
There you go. Maybe for those who don't know, so you were crowned Miss Kenosha back at what year was that? It was a few years back.
2023, I was Miss Kenosha, and your interview that I had that year was one of the most amazing that I had. So I'm glad I could be back.
And then also, then you were top date. You were crowned Miss Racine. Is that correct? Is that
Yes.
and what year were we talking in Miss Racine?
Miss Racine was 2024, so 6 months before winning Miss Wisconsin.
So what made you decide to run for Miss Racine?
I decided that I would give the opportunity of being Miss Wisconsin one more year. Living in Racine, I had never before competed for the title of Miss Racine. And anyone who knows the Miss America opportunity knows that as long as you live, work, or go to school in a city or a county, you can represent that county. And so I met the Miss Racine directors at the Miss Wisconsin competition the year before, and they encouraged me to come back. They encouraged me to come in and compete because I live in Racine to represent the community. And when I won, I was so shocked. So having the opportunity to then represent my hometown on the Miss Wisconsin stage and to win. It was a full circle moment. It was beautiful. I started out as Miss Racine's teen in 2017. So that was my very first title in the Miss America opportunity. And so to end it as that being my local title as a Miss was truly amazing for me.
Now, last time I talked to you, you were attending Carthage College. Let's update on you graduated, and if so, and what? Let's hear all about it.
Yeah, I graduated 2 weeks before winning Miss Wisconsin. I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Musical Theater, and I minored in history, and I love my experience so much. I think the year I talked to you was the first study abroad trip that I took. So I went to Tanzania, Africa, and studied religion. The next year, I ended up studying Jane Austen in England, and then my last year, right before winning Miss Wisconsin, I went to France.
So, as Miss Racine, then what was your platforms and your talent? Let's hear all about that.
My community service initiative has always been arts based. I decided to focus on exclusion in the arts and creating spaces for people who might not be able to otherwise access the arts themselves. And I'm so glad I've been able to do that since being Miss Racine and then all years Miss Wisconsin. I started working with the Arts Board last year in the state of Wisconsin to learn more the statistics around the arts, why certain groups are included and some are still looking for funding. I've been able to go into schools and nursing homes and perform for people who have lost their memory, some people who don't understand what's going on in their social groups around them, and use arts in the arts as a tool to bring people together and make them feel heard so that we no longer have exclusion in the arts, but we are creating a space of belonging. And so that's why I named my community service initiative The Art of Belonging.
So then you move along to the Miss Wisconsin competition. Okay.
Yes.
And well, let's talk about that. So then was that the same platform and talent that you performed in the Miss Racine?
Yeah, it was. I did change the name of my community service initiative. I was always, especially when I was Miss Kenosha, focused on diversifying entertainment. So the one thing that I want to do when I am done with being Miss Wisconsin and go on to get my master's is talking about the arts and entertainment and creating exclusion in like the workforce on the side of Hollywood and writing and all of those things production wise. But I wanted to tailor what I was doing as Miss Racine and Miss Wisconsin to our communities locally. So my community service initiative, the heart of it has always been the same. It just became more community focused. Performed that on the Miss Wisconsin stage through my onstage question, in my interview with the judges, and then sang the song "And I'm Telling You" from Dreamgirls for my talent. I won the talent competition during prelim nights and then also on the finals night, and I was so shocked. I chose this song in specifically this song because it was a challenge for me. It's a fun song to listen to, it's a fun song to watch. Jennifer Holliday singing it in the '80s, iconic, an icon herself, and I didn't think I could do it, but I had fun, and I think that's what really mattered to the judges.
Let's hear what was going through your mind when they crowned you Miss Wisconsin.
I was so shocked. Even now in that moment, watching this video back, 10 months in with the sash and crown still, I can't believe it's me. Um, you dream about being Miss Wisconsin your entire life, and you look up to all these amazing women, and so I think I trained myself to think Miss Wisconsin is someone else. So it was an honor to hear my name called, and I'm still amazed at all of the amazing work I've been able to do. But to know and understand that I miss Wisconsin is still so hard for me. I think I'm just a girl who's able to meet so many amazing people and spread a message that's important to me. And in that moment, I was just very grateful that the judges believed that I could do it.
Hey, well, I'll tell you this much, when you were crowned, and I and others were just so happy to see you, but I would say the social media exploded. And what I mean by that is I don't think there was a media outlet that did not talk to you. I would say one
Yeah.
after the other, which is great. I mean, you're getting your message across and people are now known. But that went on for like, geez, almost 3 to 5 weeks, which is great too as well. How was that experience? Because it's like one minute you're going to West Wisconsin and boom, you're recognized by the whole state, if not national.
Oh my gosh. I called it my media tour. And the funny thing is, leaving my senior year of college, right? Like studying musical theater, getting this degree, I thought, okay, I have my performance time because you saw my senior thesis. So I was like, this is my one last time to kind of perform and get people to understand who I am. And then this next year is going to be my gap year. Right into the week of winning Miss Wisconsin, I realized it was not going to be anything like a gap year. I mean, I was traveling up to Madison for podcasts. I went to all of the major news stations in Milwaukee. I did some radio things. I did some smaller news company things, newspaper interviews. And so I named it my media tour. And it was about 5 weeks exactly of just answering questions and being able to share my story. I think it really hit me when international stations got involved and national news stations wanted to hear my story, especially when BET responded and I went on QVC in the summer. I'm just so grateful I've been able to share my story. I think little Willow is very proud that she finally got to share her experience competing for 10 years, failing so many times, and then realizing that the hard work that she was putting in would eventually mean something, um, is super magical, and I'm glad I got to share that experience with so many people.
I mean, it even got down to where Ben Crump even posted it on his
Oh,
social media. I'm like, oh my.
yeah, thank
Now,
you.
usually these competitions come along with scholarship. So if
Yes.
when you win and you could say afterwards, say, I'm just graduated Carthage. Could I go to a trip to the Bahamas or do you have to take the scholarship and go further?
The Bahamas would be so nice, but it has to be used towards school. I won $19,000 in scholarships. That's an insane amount of money. And so I told the judges that I graduated with my undergrad degree on a full ride, and I used the scholarships that I had to pay for books and different things like that, other fees involved in school. Now I definitely have to get my master's. I let them know I was planning on getting my master's. I've applied to a few places. I've always wanted to be a writer in the film and entertainment industry. And so I'm hoping to use the $19,000 towards that within the fall.
So then when he crowned and he went on the media tour, not too much time to get prepped for Miss America. I think it was like 2 or 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. So that's for not even being at a Miss America contest. How was that? And what did you have to do to prepare and get in that Miss America mode?
It was such a short amount of time. And the competition in the years prior had been in December. So usually Miss Wisconsin would have 6 months to prepare. For me, I knew that I wouldn't have time to, like, sit down and rework my paperwork, and do as much walking or talent practice as I wanted to. I took every appearance that I went to as my Miss America prep, and I thought about who would I wanna be if I were Miss America? How would I want to interact with people? So when I was busy at county fairs in July and August, and I interacted with maybe the little kids who were there or, the adults, the older adults who came to see the fair for the 5th or 6th time, or even many more times than that, I would just tell myself, "If I were Miss America, this is who I wanna be. I wanna be personable, I wanna be fun, I want to be relatable, I wanna be open and share my story," and that was really my Miss America prep. And I feel like I did carry that with me, into the week of Miss America, but just being myself and sharing my story and hopefully making some people's day while I was there. It's such a short turnaround, but I think it's really all about who you are as a person. That's the most important when preparing for competitions in the Miss America opportunity.
How did you place? There wasn't much response. I was trying to look up how did it work when they place you at the end of the competition?
Yeah, so they have a top 10 finalists. Sometimes it's a top 15 or top 20. This year was top 10, and so if you don't place in the top 10, you don't actually know where you place. So I did not place in the top 10. I don't know what number out of all the 50 states that I that I got. But I think that's something that's so unique about the Miss America opportunity is you kind of get to form your opinions within yourself and then the audience and your own personal supporters on how you did and use that to move forward.
Well, after this interview, I got a few numbers to call, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this and have a recount. So, but no,
I
I
appreciate
know
that.
you've done a wonderful job, and it's just great to actually be in such a competition. And
Yeah.
I think that was in Florida, correct?
It was Orlando,
Yeah.
Florida. It was a great time. Oh my goodness.
Excellent. Well, we keep talking about support. I support the community support, but one person I do have to bring up is the one and only Mr. Willie Newell. I mean, I met your dad at the recitals and other events. Boy, I tell you, it's one of those things where it's like it's great that you had him in his corner. How is it
Yes.
with you? In your family itself, they were always by your side throughout. How is it when you got that family support throughout this year?
I wouldn't have been able to do the job this year without them, especially my dad. I mean, driving from Racine and we're at the bottom of the state, right? So I have to go up north for a lot of different events. The farthest I've driven, I've told everyone how much I enjoyed this county fair. It was the Iron County Fair. That was 6 hours away from my hometown. And so to drive myself as Miss Wisconsin to an event and then also get out of the car and like be ready and energized, I would not have been able to do that without my dad. He drove me to so many events, especially in the first 10 months of my reign. My mom, she takes care of like all of the girly events, so the hair and the nails and all of those fun dress picking out appointments. But when it's the heavy duty stuff and the 2 day events, it's really my dad. And so I'm grateful for their support and my family, my entire family support during this year.
You know, another support system you have is where you worked, where you bring up the Racine Public Library, which is an
Yeah.
excellent library. I've been there throughout the state. Let's hear about the Racine Public Library.
I love it there. I got my job at the library when I was in my sophomore year of college, and I decided to stay as Miss Wisconsin. I knew my schedule would be really heavy, but the library is truly my place to decompress. It's an amazing opportunity for me to stay connected with the community of Racine. I see so many great patrons who come in looking for books, looking for resources. If you want to find a job, if you want to find some place to connect with people your age in the community. It's the place to go. And so on my days off as Miss Wisconsin, I'm there, I'm working, I'm helping people find books. And I've been able this year to advocate for libraries and the resources they offer. I went to Library Legislative Day in Madison at the Capitol. We talked to Governor Evers and a few other state legislators about why libraries are important, kind of just sharing the resources that we were offering in 2025 and 2026. And then also, I went to the WLA conference, the statewide library conference, and was able to speak to all librarians and kind of explain how Miss Wisconsin, the role of Miss Wisconsin and being a librarian or a library staff, how they coincide and how third spaces are important in our society and in our state, and encourage them in the work we're doing because I think libraries and their importance in our communities can get glossed over. Um, but we do offer a lot.
I think they got it where the Kenosha Racine, where you, if you have your library card, you can check out
Yes,
and vice versa too as well. So by all means,
absolutely.
go out to your local public library and definitely the Racine Public Library as well. But then also we got to mention about Miss Kenosha Nalika Dennis.
Yes.
She was competing with you. How's it been in your experience with Miss Kenosha Nalika
Uh,
Dennis?
I love Nalika so much. I have not been able to actually attend the Miss Kenosha pageant in about 2 to 3 years. Since I gave up my crown, actually, just because something always happens that day. I think this year I had a Valentine's Day event because it was on Valentine's Day. But meeting her after she won and getting to go and compete with her was such a magical part of this year. So we do a golf outing every year at Miss Wisconsin. It's a fundraiser. And each of the girls, there's about two of us standing at each hole at the New Berlin Hills golf course. Nalika and I were paired together. And so it's when we got to know each other and we got to laugh at how bad we were at golf and get to know about all of our goals and dreams and our experiences competing. And so I love her so much. She's amazing. We got to do the Christmas tree lighting too this year, the Kenosha Christmas tree lighting on stage. And it was a pretty awesome reunion that we had. I love her.
That's, I was just going to bring that up, the Christmas tree lighting. It was cold, very cold, but it was neat to see you both there attending at the event. And I know you were at the Kindness Week as well. So it was great to see
Yes.
uh, you back in Kenosha for some of these events too as well. And that was the thing with the Miss Kenosha. I thought you did make it and you were in the lobby for the Miss Kenosha. Am I wrong on that? Or
I
I thought
was.
you were like,
So
because, go ahead.
yeah, I didn't see the pageant, but I
Okay.
came in right after. So my event ended and I ran to Kenosha from Racine to
Well,
see the new girl. who was crowned.
Well, I want to compliment you on that because I was there, and as I was leaving, I see this person on this other side of in the lobby, and I'm like going, did they hire a Disney princess? Because I
Oh
don't
my
remember
gosh.
her being at the thing. And then as I got closer and closer, it was you. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming to support that, as well as we support you in the Miss Wisconsin too. And okay, you said you talked about Governor Evers, but I know you brought up Milwaukee a lot, and somewhere I'm hearing about the Milwaukee Bucks. So maybe
Yes.
you can inform me a little bit about this?
Yes, one of the coolest opportunities of this year. The Bucks found out about me and who I was in July, and I didn't see it until I got back from Miss America. But they wanted to collab on some things, their entertainment department specifically, and so I went in, did a few guest hosting opportunities during the games on the court. There's so many different mini breaks throughout the game, when like the players will have pauses, and during those times, the host will do games. So someone can come down to the court, shoot a basket, maybe win some money from Potawatomi or BMO or Clover. And so I took part in this opportunity and found out that I really liked working there and they really liked who I was as a host too. And so I started my job officially there with the Bucks. So I am a full in-game host part-time and I love being there, being with the fans, being a part of the Bucks community. We do different events throughout the summer and kind of off the court as well. So I was a part of an HBCU day where we gave out scholarships to students, and I hosted that. The president of the Bucks was there, doing things with just different Bucks fans throughout the community. It's been mind blowing to even say that I've worked with the Bucks or that I work with the Bucks. It's wild.
And I also hear about the Milwaukee Brewers. Were you there?
Yes,
So let's hear. I mean, this is like a dream come true this whole year. Let's hear about the Milwaukee Brewers.
I threw out the first pitch. I practiced in my room with a sock the night before because I was like, I don't think I'm good at throwing, but I'm going to try my best. And I threw it, it got to his feet, so it was in a straight line and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And the fans of the Brewers are awesome. I love the Brewers.
And then also I saw on social media something about Quick Trip.
Yes.
What's the deal with Quick Trip? Were you low on gas, or let's hear about
Quick Trip is the official sponsor of Miss Wisconsin. A lot of people don't know that. They supply the money for our gas. So when I'm traveling and going to all these different events around the state and different counties, Quick Trip is who I'm getting my gas from. I've done about 5 or 6 Quick Trip openings. So we open up, there's so many new Quick Trips popping up around the state. And I'm usually there helping cut the ribbon, talking about how Quick Trip has helped support higher education of young women. And meeting the CEO and his family, they're so sweet. They're awesome. They've been supporting Miss Wisconsin for a while. So go to your local Quick Trip and get some food, get some gas. It's a great place to go.
Okay, well, we're kind of rounding up here. So I know it's going to be coming down. We're going to give up the crown for Miss
Yes.
Wisconsin, but we want to, welcome the new in 2026. But if people want to learn more about the Miss Wisconsin pageant, should they go on a website or the dates? Or let's hear, can you fill us in on the Miss Wisconsin 2026?
Absolutely. It's crazy that my year is coming to a close, but Miss Wisconsin Week is one of the most exciting weeks of the summer in the state of Wisconsin. It starts off it's the week of June 16th. So it starts off on that Monday. We usually have an event where all of the title holders come into the state or into that spot in the state to compete. If you go on the Miss Wisconsin website, you'll be able to get your tickets. We have preliminary nights where all the contestants from your county possibly will be on stage competing in talent, evening gown, on stage question, and health and fitness. And then on finals night is really like the hugest night. It's when Miss Wisconsin is crowned. So the top 10 is selected. All of the girls recompete. Miss Wisconsin is crowned. We also have a Miss Wisconsin's teen competition that happens simultaneously throughout the week. So a young girl from the ages of 13 through 18 will be crowned the Friday night before Miss Wisconsin is crowned. And even if you go and support a certain title holder, and your title holder doesn't win, it's an amazing time to just experience the talent and the accomplishments of the young women from across the state. So there's so much to get out of it. We do so many activities. We do volunteer activities and we perform. And it's my favorite week of all time. I love it so much.
And when is the week of that again?
June 16th through the 20th.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I could see you even just writing a book about this whole year experience because you've just done an amazing job. Not only this year, but even the prior pageants as well, too, as
Thank
well.
you.
So, Willow Newell, Miss Wisconsin, I never thought I said, but I'm happy to say it, Miss Wisconsin Thank you so much for talking with us today, and we'll definitely look forward to the pageant coming.
Thank you so much for having me again.